Hola, bienvenidos a la VocalLubePodcast, presentado de Jetstream Studios.
Okay,
episode 50.
Yep.
That's going to be the intro.
I guess so.
That is.
Was that?
You might as well keep introducing.
I feel like that was close.
That was great.
Joined with my co-hosts, Maxwell Bryant.
I had like a little bit of like.
That was Asian. Little,
Yeah, kind of had
A little dip in the
yeah.
in the soy sauce are there.
Some might say a chink in the armor.
Speaking of armor,
Billy McDonald.
yes, sir.
How's it going, guys?
I bought this because I'm a fucking idiot and I just wanted something like this. Honestly, great decision. I don't care how much money it cost. Granted, it was not a lot. I actually got it for a steal.
It cost you a whole lot though.
No,
I'm not gonna lie, dude. In the video, you can't really see it. It's like blending in with the flag. So you're gonna have to put the mask down. There you go.
Can you hear me still?
Yeah, it's a little muffled, but yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no. Yeah, fucking huge. It makes me realize that I need a full set of armor to really capitalize on this, because it is heavy and it's weighing on my shoulders. Other than that, not too bad. I think I just need to get padding.
You don't
for
think the
inside.
rest of the suit's gonna weigh on your shoulders?
No, it would. It just would definitely keep it off my shoulders more because the helmet be resting on the armor instead of my shoulders.
But your shoulders should be your body's armor.
So in the
You're right.
Knight's,
I am a huge bitch.
in the Knight's Tale story that you're creating right now, is Dan gonna be like the peasant?
Damn.
I mean, he can be
Bro went
like
straight to peasant.
he
Do
can
you
be
have,
like my
peasant attire?
sidekick.
Well, yeah, that's like typically I think like the knight would have like a couple peasants. with them.
Like not to like put Dan in a stereotype,
Zach
but
could be a
like
peasant too.
if I'm Green Hornet, Dan is
Ooh, you could be a monk.
he could be a monk.
You could be a holy person.
You could be a holy person.
Yeah.
But probably not. I'll become a monk, and then we need to get you like traditional Korean peninsula attire from
Wait,
the
peninsula.
medieval times.
So Korea's a peninsula.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how does that like? Wait. How does that? Why is that needed to specify?
Well, maybe you're talking about the non-Korean peninsula, or the Korean.
I mean, like the
non-peninsula.
Japanese definitely had different attire than the Chinese did at that point.
Wouldn't Japan be considered an archipelago?
Yeah, but I'm taking the peninsula part out. I was saying that we need region-specific attire for medieval time Korea.
Yeah, I just don't think that exists.
And then it definitely exists.
Yeah, definitely
Medieval
somewhere.
time Korea?
Yeah, like that time period.
Wouldn't that just be like China or something? Like I don't know. Like I don't think
Dan- Dan would-
Korea started.
Hold on,
No, I'm just saying Korea is like the location, like that area. Like what was the
Gotcha.
clothing
What's the
of that
equivalent
area?
of like a Korean samurai?
I don't think there is because that was a Japanese.
Yeah.
No, I know, but the equivalent.
So probably the samurai came to Korea.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
So I'm thinking there probably wasn't a version of that.
Okay.
But you need to get a full night suit. I mean, I guess we're LARPing now. Dan needs to get.
Yeah, we're LARPing now.
Dan needs to get that attire that we just broke down. I'm gonna get like some holy attire, and then we're going to medieval times.
Hold on.
Dude, I'm so
no,
down to go
hold
to
the
medieval
fuck on.
times.
Hold the fuck on. Holy attire.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, wait, why? Are you from that area of the world?
Yeah.
Typically, like, the Middle East is where the holiest of the stuff would be, right?
I mean, the Vatican's like the holiest location
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
for the
Are you a-
Christian world.
Are you from that area? Mediterranean?
I'm
I thought
from-
you were 1% Chinese.
Yeah.
I am. All right.
So-
fine. I could go full China, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that's all
okay.
we need, or at least 1%. You need at least a
I mean, I'm
bracelet.
probably maybe more Mongolian. Like it could be my
How many-
Genghis Khan gene.
It could be his Genghis Khan gene.
How many generations of Max would there have to be for his generation for his bloodline to be 100% Chinese?
That
All
would-
of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point
simply because he's alive means it would never be possible.
Okay.
And simply because his father's alive and his mother's alive and all of them combined are
can't-
white folk.
You can't just like push in Chinese and then like you can't just like bake
out the
out
whiteness?
rest. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Well,
You can have dominating traits.
You absolutely
Like,
can have dominating traits, and you could, through many, many years, filter out as much of it, but it'll never be.
Yeah, they could be 2% American.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I'd love to see Max's like great grandchildren just be full Chinese.
Look, if Max adopts a Chinese baby,
yeah, that's fair.
that is one way this
you're
could work.
You're resetting it.
So I was listening to a podcast today, and China is not gifting babies to us at this moment.
So typically, you don't like gift a baby. It would be more of like a
but our two big hotbeds, China and Russia, both do not gift babies to us anymore.
Yeah, no doubt,
Can we adopt?
They saw the ones they sent here, and they're like, "Oh damn, dude, they're way too nice. They're too good at their shit.
Yeah.
We can't be sending more."
One of them's Dan, and the other one's gay. I'm joking. That's fucked up.
One of them's Dan, and the other one's gay. So who's the other one? And I'm not Chinese.
Dan's a sexuality now, I guess.
It is.
Yeah.
It's probably the hottest trait a woman could have. She's dansexual.
Dansexual. That's what I'm talking
you know
about.
what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway.
Do you think if this is along the sexuality lines, but like someone was talking to me about this, my girlfriend.
Okay.
When she was working the other night, someone at the bar kept like, if anyone came and talked to this woman, male or female, she was like, I'm asexual. Like pretty much like that has to be the cockiest thing you can be. Because like essentially you're saying anyone who comes up to you is trying to like hit on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then like at that point, if you have to tell people you're asexual, I don't think you are. Because if you're asexual, then it doesn't matter. You find no attraction. So like why would you need to like put that out in the world?
Being asexual and identifying it is more about you getting attention than it is about your sexuality. That's the whole thing about branding yourself as your sexuality. It's not really about your sexuality. It's not about who you love and who you sleep with behind closed doors. It's all about who can I tell?
Next time a guy comes up and tries, just like, if he asks me, next time a just random person on the street's like, hey, like, do you know where this is? And be like, shit, I'm sorry, I'm heterosexual, and just walk away.
Oh my God, dude, I'm not.
Dude, I am not attracted to you. I can't give you directions.
It's like that one, I forgot who said the joke, but how do you know someone's a vegan? They tell you.
I have a bumper sticker.
Well, probably that too. Yeah. But they always tell you. You'll never meet a vegan who doesn't make it known.
So that it's more reasonable for a vegan to tell you because food comes up a lot more than like, oh, like I'm just like I'm asking you to like slide your chair over a little bit and then you hitting me with like, hey, I'm asexual.
Yeah, if I was like, excuse me, can I actually get to the bar? And she's like, I'm asexual, it'd be like fucking phenomenal. Anyway, can I get to the like who gives a shit? I don't care about your sexuality. To be honest with you, like I only started thinking about people's sexuality because of how much it was put into my face just by the social media. But in reality, man, I don't give a fuck, dude. You could be the weirdest motherfucker out there by societal standards. Not necessarily that I think you're weird, but societal standards, you could be off the track. And I don't give a shit. If you make a sexual advance of me and I'm not attracted to you, then that just is what it is. I'm not going to sit there and shame you for it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not running around. I don't know many straight dudes who are running around, or straight women, as fact, that go around.
I just started a
branding
whole new movement of make heterosexual gay again.
Whatever happened to being gay and like it'd be cool, you know?
What like?
Back in the medieval times, dude, like this guy right here, he'd be tapping little boys left and right.
Dude, if this was ancient Greece, we'd be fucking pounding each other and dapping up women.
I think it should be we'd be fucking.
Yeah, we'd be fucking and dapping up women.
I don't know if you had to add the pounding part.
Yeah, I didn't like the pounding each other.
Okay, what you think? Which one sounds worse, pounding or fucking?
Pounding.
Okay,
and then adding the second part of each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't think everyone was just getting the luxury of pounding each other.
I think a good portion of people were definitely just.
I think it was like more of just like the warriors who were having sex with each other.
That really blows.
Well, that's
like
because
you go out on your crusade and you're like, I guess the boys are just fucking.
I mean, dude, how else?
Seems like they're cool with it though.
But they've got to be picking like the prison bitch. Like there has to be a prison bitch. Like it's not like all of them are just
You think it's
accepted.
like,
You think it was
Okay.
like that hunchback dude from 300?
What?
I don't
would
think
be
you'd want to hit
crazy.
that though.
I don't know. He seemed like the bitch out of all of them.
That'd
Yeah,
be fucking hilarious.
I mean,
they all had hot ass wives though back in
yeah,
Oh yeah,
back where they were at.
yeah.
but like, you
So it
ever
really
seen
sucks to think that they couldn't like keep it together for like a week.
have you ever seen the movie Meet the Spartans?
Yes.
There's a scene
spoof
where
of
like
300?
they're like kissing each other, but then like when their wives come in, they just like handshake them.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Is that like a specific part that you enjoyed?
Yeah, I mean, I think
I like that scene because it's funny.
I think back in the day, fools were way more gay than even in modern history.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it probably just started once it became like socially taboo to not fuck your homies. And
But I think it's like once the non-rich and powerful, it's like when the peasants became gay, it wasn't okay.
yes. That's it.
The
When the
elites could
peasants-
definitely be gay.
That's 100%
but, like,
probably what it was.
once the peasants
That's-
turned gay,
Oh, okay.
Then it was
it's
like,
out of
nah,
style.
They're
now.
like, I don't like that.
Mhm.
It's out of style now. I got you.
it's like how lobster used to be like a really like that was like the poor man's food.
Yeah,
Mm.
but I think that's also because like, actually, never mind. I don't know how lobster became so like.
All right, Bill, you're going to have to take that shit off. It's starting to cut out.
Okay, cool. I'm back.
Yeah, there you go.
I wanted to drink my fucking beer anyways.
Are you on a beer kick?
Billy recently has been on just like he doesn't drink a lot, but he'll just have like a beer every day, a couple times a day.
What the fuck?
Just slowly building his tolerance up.
What the fuck? That's
So he
that's
can-
not
he
what
can
that is at
flow
all.
Smoothly into his.
Yeah. I'm actually building up to be a career alcoholic.
Yeah.
I literally like I think about that all the time and I'm like, sure, I could definitely let myself go and drink a lot all the time. But the amount of damage that it would do to me in the sense that like I just couldn't like move, I don't think I could be a career alcoholic.
I don't know how people fucking get up and go do shit when they're that hammered.
Well, they don't. That's kind of the.
I mean, I guess, yeah, that's why you get caught drinking and driving and all this shit like that.
I don't even think it's the
Well, it's like
drinking
how
and
you lose
driving.
your job is,
Yeah, that's fair.
you know.
It's funny because
It baffles me hearing about people like putting liquor in like water bottles and like going to work. I'm like, that doesn't sound enjoyable at all.
There's a guy I used to work, or did not used to. He started training at the restaurant job, and
what was his name?
I don't remember.
The
but-
restaurant world's a little different,
Yeah.
but still not.
But there's a
acceptable.
point in the restaurant world where it's like, okay, you're at that point where you are now too far into it.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to drink. It's okay, whatever. You know, it's just
Now you're becoming a nuisance.
while you're training and you're fucking up a lot. I shouldn't be having conversations with you and know what alcohol you were drinking. And it's like, if I can smell vodka and identify it as vodka, then there's a problem on your breath.
100%.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I knew it was because he was sitting there with a fucking Yeti filled with vodka, and I was like, "You got vodka in there?" He's like, "No." I was like, "I can smell it." And like we had to talk outside, and I was like, "Hey man, like it's cool, just not here right now.
Yeah.
You got to wait a little bit if you're gonna start drinking." And it just didn't work out. But
Now, there was one person that I mean, shit, he's still working at my job, but yeah, no, he definitely career alcoholic. Still definitely drinks. Somehow he just like became a cooler person. I don't know if he like started drinking more or just like started drinking less, but he got caught like slamming a bottle of like rail vodka in his car twice. Has not been fired.
Do I know this person?
What's up?
Do I know this person?
No. He's a newer guy, but he's much older, and it shows because when he talks to people, like my favorite story was he was fucking hammered one day. I think this is one of the days he got caught, and he was helping a lady out in the pool section, and she was a heavier set, bigger woman. The first thing he said before helping her out was like, "Man, you're a hell of a woman," and like. I was like, all right. And then I'm pretty sure he's the reason why we got a review about sexual harassment. But
Yeah, that kind of fits.
yeah, it does fit. But it turns out you can really do anything you want.
yeah, you can if you want to
I mean, fuck me.
shoot for the stars, I guess.
Shoot for the stars. Be as big of a degenerate as possible.
Yeah, fuck it.
But yeah, no, I did have one thing I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
what is it? January of 2028 or 27. PlayStation is getting rid of physical discs. Yeah, that's fucking awful because they're trying to get rid of physical media. Because now it's just going to be nothing but like subscriptions and you don't really own shit anymore. Like even when you have Game Pass, like obviously you can play the games, but those are licenses. And like even when you buy like for instance, like we bought Battlefield, like I bought Battlefield on PC, you bought on Xbox, that isn't you owning that. That's them giving you a license to play it so they can take it away whenever they want to. So yeah, it's been really fucking shitty.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
why?
though, like, as long as they don't fuck you over, you're probably in this scenario. I think you're okay.
Well, there's a lot
plenty of other scenarios where exactly what you described really isn't okay. In the gaming world, I think you're going to be okay.
Well, the problem is that they have been shutting down games that like let's say for instance, you're playing a game that's like online only, right?
Yeah,
if they took it offline, you could not play that game anymore. So you effectively you something that you should own.
But they're but you don't effectively own it because when you bought it, you accepted the fact that you don't own it.
Well, that's like yes, but that's like if you buy physical, then that's you currently owning it because physical doesn't have the same stipulations as like buying something online. Like you physically still own that. You know what I mean?
You own a copy of it, correct?
Yeah, but it doesn't still follow under the same shit as like, you know, like when you buy it off like, well, actually Steam is one thing. You get like a lifetime license with that. So that's something that actually can't go away. You own that shit forever. But something like Epic Marketplace, whatever the fuck it is, like Epic and like Ubisoft. Like Ubisoft specifically was one of the bigger reasons why something like this become a bigger thing is because they stopped making money off of one game. I think it was called The Crew or The Crew 2. Immediately took it offline, and there was still a big, really massive, passionate fan base, but it wasn't making them money. So they're like, "Fuck it, it's online only." So we're just gonna stop making it online, and yeah, no one could play anything anymore. And it took money out of people's pockets.
But I don't know if that's a fair assessment. I mean, essentially, they're probably losing money on the servers that are running the game, and they can't financially.
Well,
it doesn't make sense for them to keep the servers up and running because it's not like a game just sits there and it just like works.
Well, no, which is
a server that's running that, and that server costs money every second. And
100%. But the problem that it's also on the consumer side where it's like, well, you did buy it, and like at least physically, like you know what, fuck it. If you're buying it online and you find yourself in a position where you're buying it off of like Xbox or like Epic Game Store,
I think that the confusing part though is you're not actually buying like the game. You're buying a key to utilize. Like you don't actually own anything. Well, yeah, and you've agreed to that once you've purchased that key.
Well, yeah, but the disc is the physical copy does not follow under the same stipulations as like buying it online. But even then, let's say you're sitting there and you're buying it, you're not really owning it. Is that even piracy at that point? Because if you're not owning it, then why would it be piracy?
Well, they have copyright law. Well, they own
piracy is actually because you don't own it.
Yeah, well, and the fact is they own the rights to the game. You're licensing access to it.
Yeah, well, if buying isn't owning, then I mean, I guess I can understand. I just find it weird that
I have a membership to the gym. I don't own the gym.
Well, yeah, that's fair, but at the same time, like if you sat there,
well, that's why you're not growing.
Yeah. But
because you're going in there with the mentality of this is not my gym.
No,
if you walk in there, I own this shit.
When that gym closes, I don't get to just take the weights with me.
No, but the problem is that like if you
think you could,
but if you sat there,
you might get arrested. But
that's equivalent like going to the gym, being like, all right, cool, I'm buying this weight from you guys, and then you use the weight, and they're like, well, I want that back with no money in return.
But that's not.
I don't think that's what they're going. I don't think that's what they're doing though.
Yeah, like if you buy
that might be a fear, but I can't imagine they're actually being like, "Hey, so you guys bought GTA 6, by the way, it fucking sucks."
No, that's literally 100% what happened with The Crew. It was a game that was running, and in their mind, they weren't making enough money. It's not like they weren't making money; they weren't making enough in their mind.
Yeah, but if you bought the physical copy, you still wouldn't be able to play it though,
which makes no sense.
It does because a server needs to be running the game, and if they shut the servers down,
well, then you either make it all like be able to be used without.
But you can't
without online access, or you make it always run. Because why would you give a product and then take it away from somebody like that? Especially if I pay $70.
Because it costs.
Because it's not like a subscription.
Costs money to keep it up.
Yeah, no, but it also costs money.
So, but would you be okay if they went to a subscription model and every month you got billed for that game?
Well, no, because I already bought it.
But to keep it up and running, you'd be okay with buying the subscription to keep it up and running.
I mean, no.
They
should just keep it up and running. That's just what that is.
If a company doesn't have money to keep it up and running, how do you expect them to keep it up and running?
Then they have to start making games that are also single player instead of online only. Because if your game is only online only and I pay $70 and then it's like a year down the line I can't play it anymore, then it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like I got fucked.
One would say that is the risk that you are taking. And you don't really have an argument against it.
Not really. I don't see that as like a risk. Why would I that's like you buying a fucking movie and then like you not being able to watch that movie. You know what I mean?
It's a little different.
Not really.
Yeah, it is. I mean, a movie is just a playback. But you're talking about something that you're interacting on a live server and they have to maintain a server. And if they don't have the money, funds, or anything like that to maintain a server, then why?
No, I know. And that's what I'm saying. You have to start making games also single player to a certain degree.
Because if you don't have to do anything.
But yeah, if like the game's not a single player game, then what's the point of making a single player version of it?
So that you can keep playing it.
But they're a business.
But it's also not the game.
Yeah, but
you're saying the game's multiplayer and has nothing. There's no single player.
You gotta remember, like, people aren't in business to just make you happy.
Yeah, but then understandably,
you're in business to make money.
Well, okay, then at that point, I would just step as far away from that as possible.
But even if they're there trying to make you happy, I'm sure that these people realized, okay, like this game has a following, people like to play it. They probably weren't like, oh shit, like we're really happy we're shutting this down. I'm sure they're like, this sucks, but financially they can't keep it going.
Isn't there a game where the people took over the servers because the company didn't?
You can also
Battlefield.
You can also do that too. No, Battlefield just 4? Has its own thing. You can make your own servers. Yeah, I think maybe Battlefield 4 because I know they do their own shit, but they still have their servers up and running.
I also don't the concept of making your own servers. Someone's paying for that time on a physical server in some data center somewhere.
Well, yeah, if somebody has to do it, then like sure, like fuck it, that makes more sense in my mind. But if like,
I bet if someone went to the game manufacturer and they're like, we're willing to pay to keep the servers up and running, I'm sure they'd be like, fantastic.
Yeah. I just, in me personally, I find it weird that you would go out of your way, that someone would go out of their way and make a multiplayer game and then just not keep it running. Because like, let's say like,
is there a new game that came out?
It's like saying someone started a company and they're not making any money and they decided to close it.
Well, no, it's more like they weren't making the money that they wanted to. So instead of like, it's not like Ubisoft is running out of, like my example. It's not like Ubisoft's running out of, I mean, now they are, but like back then, it's not like they were just like fucking broke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but as a company, they have to make the decisions of how their finances, like someone's running the balance sheet and they're like, we have to cut something out.
But then what happens to all of like the microtransactions and stuff like that? All the money they spent on that, yada yada. Because like that person
at the end of the day, it's just a cost benefit analysis, and if the costs outweigh the benefit, then they're going to close it down.
I just find that to be selfish.
And like, even though there might be a community that loves it, if it's not worth their time and money, then why would they continue?
I mean, yeah, I find that to be wrong.
Would it be great if they were like lovers of the game and they were just like, you know what, fuck it, yeah, we're going to keep it up and running, even though no one's paying us for it?
Yeah,
that'd be great.
But it's also, you can't do that for
fucking communist China.
You can't also do that for forever.
No, which is fair.
You
but
can't just lose money, and you're like, oh shit, like
the problem is
we're going to go in debt.
There is no way to play those games again. Is what I'm saying. Is that's the biggest problem? Is that like these people will spend time, their money, yada yada, into it, and there's no way to ever play it again, yada yada. And I find that to be kind of fucked, regardless of how much it takes to keep that up and running. Whether or not it's servers, yada yada, I just like that. To me, that is fucked.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks if you invested a lot of your time and money, I guess, on in-game purchases and stuff. But like at the end of the day, like I don't think there's any legal standing to go at them and be like, you can't do this.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like they're not liable for you spending money in the game.
At the end of the day,
you made the decision to do that.
I look at buying those games like any other normal product. Where it's like you own it, why would you not like? It's like buying a broom and then not being able to
all
sweep.
the time. Companies stop supporting their products all the time.
Yeah, and that's
and they have to.
Fucked.
But they have to.
But the problem is that
because as they roll new things out, you can't just maintain the low.
Well, no, I'm not talking about like keeping fucking Windows 10 up and running, Windows 9 up and running still. Like, I mean, I can understand that. Windows 10 is a little weird. I figured they could keep going at that for a little longer, but at the end of the day,
I mean, the government runs like Windows 7.
Okay, that's fucking cool. But I know that for a fact. Well, that's weird because they stopped making security updates for Windows 10. So like,
yeah, the government's running something different though.
But no, regardless, yeah, that's just like why would in my mind I don't look at video games different than any other product.
Well, I think that's where you're falling short is like.
I just think that's not like necessarily falling short on my end. I think that's just like
you're having a problem because you're seeing it like an all you can eat kind of situation. You pay for the all you can eat, but they're kicking you out before you can eat all you. But
not really, because it's like you went into the restaurant, you paid for your meal, and then they went.
You go to all you can eat, and they're like, you have 2 hours to eat. Once it hits 2 hours and 10 minutes, you can't. Be
it's more like
I'm going to keep eating.
It's more like going into like a steak restaurant, being like, oh, I just bought a steak. I can't wait to finish this, and they're like, yeah. Nah,
but you're not looking to finish
because at no point do
you're
they
looking
go
to continue.
Because at no point do they go, this is a timed thing,
right? But
so why would they not?
Like I said, you go to an all you eat place, you assume you can eat forever, and you can't.
I can't look at it as that. I look at it like,
that's, if anything, that's like the closest thing to what we're talking about.
Like in my mind, like it's not an all you can eat thing. It's once again, it's you walking in buying a full on meal. Not a 2 hour maximum. Like
I didn't say anything about timeline.
Oh no, I mean like regardless, you guys are talking about an all you can eat, which is a time frame.
But the thing is, all right. So you bought your food, you bought those items. When you bought the game, you got the whole game when you bought it. You could have played the whole game when you bought it.
Yeah, but imagine
like you still want to keep playing even after you finish the game.
Well, no, it's more like it's like cutting into halfway, like getting halfway into your steak, and they're like, yeah, let me get that back.
Yeah,
you want a refund? Nah, you can fuck.
But they're not like spending money on that steak once it reached your table. Like it wasn't like, oh shit, that steak is like running. It has an electricity bill, and we're like, holy fuck, we can't keep the lights on if you continue to eat your steak.
And I think that, and unfortunately, that's just kind of their fault in the position that they've fallen themselves into. If they made more games single player, then I think that would be more acceptable.
So, but then it sounds like your argument's not that it sucks what they did. It's like they should have made a single player game.
Yes.
I mean, it's at the end of the day, it sucks because I feel like they're just robbing people of the things that they bought. At the end of the day, I can't change my mind on that. At the end of the day, if I bought that, I own that. Unless I'm buying a subscription. That's just what that is.
But that's
like
the
if I make
problem
a one-time
is
purchase.
in your mind, you think that's what it is, but I bet you in very fine print, when you accept the terms of buying it, within that terms of
and it's not like I'm arguing that. I'm saying that is in and of itself an awful practice, and that is just genuinely bad. And I do not support that at all. And the idea that they're trying to get rid of physical media is like a big fuck you, especially to someone like, I mean, at least it's just PlayStation. For Xbox, they still have physical media. But like, there's somebody that likes physical media who like likes to own and physically feel the things that have in my hand. Like, for example, Avatar: Last Airbender, it's on Netflix, but I have it on disc just in case I want to watch it in case it gets taken away.
But you got it before you started streaming it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what about that? What about that?
Well, you didn't buy it with the purpose of longevity, though. It's just because it was.
No, but that's an example of like what that is. At the end of the day, like I can still watch it past the time it's off Netflix.
Yeah, and once again, you're not reaching a server. It's a playback.
No,
it's on a disc, encoded on a disc.
No, I understand that. But if they wanted it to just be online only and they could do it whenever, they should have done a subscription fee. Like I'm not looking at like Elder Scrolls Online and being like, wow, they can go fuck themselves. They turn off the servers. Actually, take that back. It's not a subscription, but like at the end of the day, I don't look at that and I go, that is a good meaning practice. Like it's like it's sorry that they find themselves in that position, but like you either got to keep it up and running or
the company
make it
fails.
Make it single player
because one dude wants to play. I'm confused. Yeah,
I don't think
That's just
that
what that is.
they probably didn't like to have to pull the game off their servers, but somewhere within there, they're like, we cannot financially continue this.
You also got to remember, it's not the dude who's creating the game, who's testing the game, who loves the game,
Who's making that decision?
who's making that decision. It's
No,
the
I-
guy at the top and the few people at the top
Yeah.
who are looking
And a
at
bunch of
numbers.
accountants. Yeah.
No, like,
And
once
they're
again, I
hearing
still,
advisors telling them, hey, so this is losing us money.
yeah, no, unfortunately,
Even though Billy McDonald is making great points, we can't hold it open. Someone has to go let that dude the fuck down. He might kill somebody over it.
that really sucks that they found themselves in a position
But I
where
mean,
they
but
could fuck
look
over
at it.
people
I
that
mean,
bought
look-
their game.
But I don't think it. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could be like, they fucked us over. I mean, that's fair. Like, but again, like within that document somewhere, I'm sure it was like, this thing can go away. Like,
I mean, I guess we'd have to just read the fine print. But
I
that's
think there's
still-
a
that's
lot of
still
shit in that
very-
fine print that you would read and you'd be like, oh,
I also
shit.
feel like there's a difference. The moment you cross into the multiplayer, you're now online across a server world.
Yeah.
When it's all single player, like how most games were,
Yeah, it's easy to have
It's-
that on a disc.
way
and you
different.
just run.
Yeah,
through
no,
it.
exactly.
but
You can
let's say-
that's
Even if you had a physical disc for Battlefield 4, if they shut down the servers, you can't play online.
Which is fair, and that's fine.
You may
Right.
have the discs,
But it's
but it
it's
doesn't
the
do
fact that
anything
it's the fact
for
that
you.
the crew was only online, so that everything about that game was completely eviscerated from the fucking face of the earth. You could not play that game anymore.
but everything was online and it was a fully there was no single player aspect to the game.
I honestly have to read into it, but from what I know, there was literally you just.
or is it the main heart of the game is online and you can't?
I mean, I'd have to look at it again.
Like you
I
could
just,
do single player stuff, but it's not like
I just know that
the
that
game
whole
anymore.
thing created a huge movement, and they're trying to place a bill. Or they're trying to put a bill through in California right now called "Stop Killing Games."
But I just don't I don't think that they'll be able to win that because there's cost associated with keeping things alive.
And there's a lot more that goes into it, but it's more or less like it's not just like, oh, keep every game fucking running.
yeah, no, there are definitely more than just cost that goes into it. But at the end of the day, it's cost.
Oh
Well-
no, but there is, but on the consumer side, there is obviously way more that goes into wanting to keep those.
Well,
up
just
and
because
going.
like somebody gave you $60 5 years ago doesn't mean that they're giving you $60 every year for.
yeah, but if they
5
came
years
up to
trade, so
me
it's like,
after
if you're not
5 years and
making
went, "Can I
money-
get that $60 again?" and they forcibly removed it from
But
your
why
wallet,
would
you'd be
why
pissed.
would they refund you on something that you have purchased, used to a full extent, and now have lost access to?
because you bought it. It's not a
Just like
subscription
any
thing.
look, you run through a pair
the-
of shoes, the manufacturer's not giving you a new pair.
Like I get like your argument of it wasn't sold to you as a subscription per se.
Yeah.
But again, I bet you if you look in the fine print, like it's very probably
I mean,
clear.
I'm sure it goes
Because-
from game to game
because-
or company to company.
Because if they don't have that in the fine print, they're probably liable for a class action lawsuit. I bet you they had it in there.
Yes.
yeah, and there's a
I
reason.
bet you they had lawyers that
But if
looked
they
through
didn't,
everything.
if they didn't, they might lose a fucking
yeah,
lawsuit.
you
over
probably could be refunded your
Yeah.
investment.
this.
yeah, I mean,
if they didn't,
they
have
and
that in
they
there.
should be able to give that money back to you.
Well, if they
That-
didn't,
that just kind
if
of-
they didn't give you a disclaimer, I mean, realistic, is it fucked that lawyers bury all this under hundreds of pages? Sure, yes,
But that's
but
what
at the
they
same
do.
fucking time, that's the
Oh
whole.
no, I
point.
know. But what I'm
Right.
saying is that
So it's on you to sit there and read through it.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
And that's why they put it in front of you,
what
and then they put it behind a little checkbox and said,
you-
"I have read, acknowledged, and agreed."
Oh no, I know, and it's not like I'm not going to accept that. But what
And
I'm
there are
saying is that
multiple
that
check
practice is genuinely scummy, and I do support
can't.
that.
That's the problem, is that it can't be called scummy if you're the one who clicked agree,
Exactly.
Oh no, it's 100%.
because you agreed to the potential scumminess.
I mean, we have
meaning
no
that
idea.
it's
though.
an agreed upon
As far as
behavior.
I know, we have genuinely no
Like
idea.
if
what you're
Max looks at
agreeing
me
to.
and goes, "Dan, you can slap me as hard as you want, whenever you want," and then I come up to him in 2 years and I slap the fuck out of him, he looks at me like, "What the fuck was that, dude? That was uncalled for." It's like, well, we had an agreement. You just didn't think that I was gonna come on my half.
Well, yeah, but we also
Come on,
at the end
Ryan,
at the end of the day,
whoa.
we have no idea what that fine print is. As
But
far as
you-
I know, you could be talking out of your ass. I could be talking.
But
my
you
ass,
can
it's-
read it. They force you.
Yes.
They put it in
They
front
put
of
it
you.
in front
No,
of you.
what I'm saying is
Every
that have
time you
you
get a-
read it though?
No, but
exactly.
you,
That's what I'm saying. So we don't
you,
actually
but
know.
you have every right to read it.
Yes,
no, I know,
and they
that's what I'm saying.
provide you the
I-
ability, and they also say, you could click no, I have not read it, and they won't give you the game.
No, I know, and I understand that. What I'm saying though is that we have no idea what games or what games don't have that incorporated at the end of the day, right?
Well,
But
no,
that-
at
but
this
that's
point,
your
dude, you
own
could
fault.
probably run that through an AI, and it will tell you what risks you're taking when you purchase it. You just have to understand that you acknowledged it. You clicked, I read this, I acknowledge it, I agree to it.
But we don't know what, I mean.
That pretty much waives everything. That's why, like, when people sign up for Disney, Disney Plus, and you get hurt at a Disney park, you can't sue them.
Yeah. No, but
even though you might not have done something at the park, and you only sign up for Disney Plus, when you agree to those terms and conditions, the terms and conditions.
Yeah, but that's because Disney put that in the contract. As far as I know, I don't
you don't know, but like it's very possible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, sure, that's true, and that's once again a genuinely
like
scummy practice.
Every time there's like an update on your phone, it's like agree.
I mean, like at the base level, what you're saying, it's scummy for them to do. Even if they did do it, they hid it behind a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And I agree, that's not a cool business practice. But at the same time, this is America, it's capitalism, and if they don't, people will take their money for not doing something that they said they would do. So now they're just going to cover all their bases because someone who is not you, who is just as scummy as them, at some point went to go take their money from them.
I mean, I guess that's why fucking.
So you don't have to
Ubisoft
blame them. You can
bankrupt.
blame the fellow gamers who have tried to take an advantage of that situation.
I mean, I guess I just know that
it's not necessarily the company's defending itself.
Yeah, but at the same time,
from an attack that has already happened, right? Because terms and conditions isn't always like a maybe it will happen. It has happened. We want to avoid.
But there's so much gray area.
Hence
with
the caution hot on like coffee mugs.
That comment.
Right?
But at the end of the day,
that lady burned the fuck out of herself at the McDonald's because she didn't realize coffee is hot.
Then we'd have to sit there and read literally all the terms and conditions for all.
Yes, that's exactly.
Figure that out.
Bingo. That's what you have to do if you don't want to be victim.
I don't doubt that there are some games that don't have that in there.
There could be, but again,
like maybe more recently because that fucking bill has been kind of in motion, especially like in Europe. And stuff like that. I think they actually wrote off and signed off on it and stuff like that.
I think you'd also, if there's a big enough community of gamers that like people who are probably pissed off probably have had people look into it. And it doesn't seem like these companies are, and I'm sure companies are getting sued all the time. Like there's probably small suits going on, even for the crew game. There could be suits going on right now. It's still going on.
If not, it's stopped by now. But I mean, like, there's obviously some merit to what is being said because it's not like that bill isn't making its way through everything.
No, also, I think if you feel like you've been wronged, you could always contact a legal advisor and they could look into it. And if you would like to go to them and be like, you owe me my money back, and you have a credible claim.
Well, yeah,
then they will pay you.
But also, that is just like it. Yeah, like
you can reach out to
I signed that petition.
I mean,
it's like I care enough. I signed the petition, but I'm not going to go like hire a lawyer to be like, hey, look into fucking
because at the end of the day, the cost of hiring a lawyer to do this is more than getting your $70 back.
I mean, that's fair, but it's simply in my mind, it's like simply just the idea of it.
Yeah, no,
back in the day, like any game, you could literally like there is no game I can't think of like.
But they weren't these
you can't necessarily
online.
Yeah, you can't necessarily blame the company
games.
For that, though.
Well, yeah, but the fact that because
the only way the company is able to stay afloat to make more games for you to play is so by defending themselves from having to just hand cash out to everybody and anyone who has ever had a problem with their business practice.
Well, and it's also like look at all the shit that you've hated over the past year. RAM's gone up. All of these computer components have gone up. All of that shit runs their servers.
Yeah.
Storage, RAM, all of it. So if that shit's going up exponentially, it costs these companies exponentially more money to keep the games
I can understand
running.
that. I just think that there should have been more safety nets in place, and I think that is kind of what is going on with this bill, is that they're trying to put in stuff in.
They sold a product for this amount of money back then when it cost this amount of money to run this and it financially was viable. Now it costs 10x what it does to do it, and the cash that they brought in does not support that.
I mean, who knows?
Do you want to pay $700 for a video game, or would you rather pay $70 and play it for 3 years? And
I'd rather pay $70 for a video game and keep it playable no matter what, and that's just kind of what that is.
That's just like a fantasy.
But not really. It shouldn't be a fantasy, is what.
Then someone somewhere needs to start funding these companies more. And the only way to do that is by them making more games, and that means they're going to have to put more stuff on their servers, which means they're going to need more money, or they're going to have to delete something off their servers to maintain
just make it. I don't know, make it.
It's not magic.
Like, I'm not saying you just only have to play multiplayer, but like make.
But you're talking about games that were produced a while ago, right? Like, yeah, sure, maybe if they produce a game today, But
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying.
they
100%.
can't just go back and
Yeah, and that's fair.
make
Like
a
back in
single
the day,
player game of
that
an-
makes sense. Like I'm not.
And you're
expecting-
also now looking at these people who designed and created this game, and they had this idea of this online multiplayer game. Like for you to be like, well, they should have made a single player version. Well, they were like, why would we do that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that really sucks for them. That's just my point of view with that.
I mean, entirely, it actually just sucks for you guys.
Well, yeah, no, it sucks
Right?
for
It's
me,
not
but
really
like,
them that's
but in
sucking,
my
it's-
mind, like if you're asking me, oh, why would they have to? Yeah, no, it sucks. If you want to do a better job, just do that. Make it also single player. Make it so I can play to some degree something.
But you did play.
Yeah, but I still want to play it.
But the thing is, too, like I downloaded Battlefield digitally. I bought it digitally and I downloaded it onto my Xbox. I'll be able to play the single player for forever because it's downloaded on my Xbox as long
And
as
that's
it
fine.
works.
I'm okay with that.
But if they were to say they're getting rid of 99% of their Battlefield 4 online servers, like I probably can't get in the game. But that's just what it is.
And
Like,
that makes sense. Like, don't get me wrong, that's fine. But there are games out there that are strictly 100 million % multiplayer, and I find that to be a huge problem, especially if you're not going to keep it open.
I mean, how
those
long
games
was
are
the game active?
What, the Crew?
Yeah.
Maybe like 4 years. Nothing like super crazy.
What's it called? The Crew?
Yeah, it's either the Crew or the Crew 2. I forgot how long it's been.
So they made a new Crew.
I mean, no, I can't remember which game it was.
The Crew Motorfest?
Nah, I would just type it like the Crew.
The Crew online game?
Maybe, yeah. I think this is the one. Yeah, I think this is what they were.
So it was released in 2014.
This movement started happening like maybe COVID time.
Yeah, so 6 years of playtime is a lot of fucking playtime.
Yeah, but there are also games that are like, why wouldn't you be able to make that single player? Settlement.
because it was an online only multiplayer race car game.
Yeah, and that sucks.
Go buy Forza.
So I mean, they left it alive for 12 years. I mean, that's pretty long, dude.
Shut down the always online games. Yeah, I mean, there was a lawsuit.
And they lost.
So they did make a settlement.
Yeah, so you
you
could have
coulda-
been
you
liable
coulda-
to get $15 back.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, I never actually played the Crew. It's just an
$7
example of that.
cash. So this didn't even affect you, and you're
Yeah, no.
okay.
But like that's literally it.
But
Like,
they took them to court. They clearly won
Mhm.
in court
Yeah.
because it clearly was determined like not a great practice.
Yeah.
Or something. There's a loophole somewhere, or someone missed something in their lawyer side of things, and people got paid up.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's all it is. Now after that, they are definitely not going to bring it back. You know what I mean?
I'm sure.
Like once you produce a lawsuit, now they're just like, go fuck yourself.
But to me, like once again, it's not about like proving if it's like doesn't exist or if it does exist. I just think that it's incredibly fucking scummy. Because at the end of the day, if I find a
yeah,
game
and so
that I
did the court.
that's just the only point I wanted to make.
But
And the fact that they're getting rid of physical games.
just know that when stuff like this starts happening, the only thing that's going to change is the terms and conditions,
Because like
so that this will never happen again
Because,
to
like, if
them, not to you guys, but to them.
if you
They're
buy,
not
like-
going to change it. Like if they're going to release another all online game and now they could take it away 5 months in.
But like that also makes no sense because if I buy a physical game, I'm not getting licensed a physical copy because at that point
You
when
are.
That's exactly
you
what
so
are
it is.
being
why
licensed
so wouldn't
to
they
copy.
be but wouldn't
That's
they
exactly what
but
that
wouldn't
is.
they just be able to come to my house and just take that then? Why wouldn't they? Because I don't technically own it.
You own
Like,
a copy of it.
Yeah.
No, but like
You don't own the rights to the game, but you own the rights to that copy that you bought.
yeah, but if I can't play that anymore, then I don't own
you still have the game.
Yeah, but I can't play it.
That's
so then what,
not.
because like I'm not
Did
buying
you?
because at the end of the day I'm not buying a game like the lawsuit says I'm not buying a license to play the game. At least that should not be the case. I'm sure it is now, but that's what it is.
Actually, it says right there, permanently shutting down the game, shutting down the Crew servers, revoking the game license.
Yeah.
Like you are licensing it from them.
Yeah, and I find that to be incredibly weird, especially if you buy that physically. Like, once again, I'm just going to contribute it to the fact that, like, you could buy anything else physical in your hands. And it's not like someone's coming by and being like, yeah, no, you're Swiffer. I need that. I'm going to take that back with me.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel like you own this house?
What's up? Yeah.
Do you pay taxes on the property here?
I mean, yeah.
Do you now own the house?
Yeah.
If you stop paying your taxes on this property, would the government take your house?
I guess, yeah. But it's
Then
also
do-
not the
then-
same.
but
It's
then
not
do
the
you-
same thing as video
But then
games.
do you
in that sense.
truly own this house?
I mean, I guess, yeah.
If it can be taken from you at any point?
I guess, yeah. I would still say so.
Yeah, I mean, I think
that's
this is
like-
just a difference in like you accepting the system or not, and it's okay that you don't, because yeah, I don't agree with the fact that they're doing it, but at the end of the day, they can.
Well, at the end of the day, when I'm not arguing that they
Or
can't
in this
not
case, they
do it.
couldn't,
They-
and then
they
they
couldn't.
had to pay.
But
Or in this
what
case,
I'm
they
saying
could.
is that they couldn't. The only thing I'm saying is that at the end of the day, the fact that they're trying to get rid of physical games means that they're really leaning into more licensing than actually physically owning media. And
Yeah,
I do
but-
not like
but-
There's
that.
a lot more money in licensing.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's fucking awful.
Yeah,
And it's
I mean,
absolutely
well, that-
fucking just
the
disgusting.
subscription based model is fucking a lot of things.
Yeah, I would simply rather fucking hang the person that invented subscriptions than anything else. Adobe is the biggest offender when it comes to subscription based anything I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. And the people at Adobe should be shot.
Well, that's kind of a lot, but
yeah.
you could buy a key to a specific product. You just can't then update it when they push out new updates. You can buy a key for Adobe Premiere,
Nah,
but you can't upgrade with the new updates.
The
I have a
keys-
key
yeah.
for Adobe Lightroom. I have
How-
it.
how
I'll
old
have
is
it.
it?
I'll have it for forever.
But how old is that though?
10 years old.
That's the problem. Is that like not saying that you still can't use that, but then like you're just falling back. Like I mean, I guess you'd have to get really into it, like and understand whatever version of Lightroom that is. But like you're losing out on 10 years worth of updates.
But exactly, I bought the key. I didn't buy the subscription.
Yeah, and I once again I find that to be scummy as shit.
But don't you think it costs money for them to make updates? Like for them to have a development team to sit there and actually work on creating new updates, that costs them money. So how do they get return on that?
And then I guess the only thing I got to say is that they got to, in this world, we got to figure out some way to be able to continue making money without having to put everything and its mother in a subscription.
I mean, I agree. Like, not everything should be packaged in a
Because, like,
subscription.
Adobe-
but like, if these big software companies and game companies, like, if they have staff constantly working on new updates and new releases, like, at a certain point, the money that they made off the initial purchase does not cover that time
Well, like,
that
but-
they're spending.
But like you got to understand, like let's say with Adobe, like you'd make money off of like licensing stuff through like schools and like businesses and stuff like that. But like on the individual side, which is where I'd be sitting, I'm getting fucked because when like let's say before they made subscriptions, you could buy all of Adobe for I don't know like a little over $2,200. Now it's if you want,
But you wouldn't get any more updates.
no, you would get free updates.
At a certain period, yes.
You just wouldn't. You
just
wouldn't.
forever?
You wouldn't. No, you just wouldn't get the newest version. Like if it updated from like let's say Adobe 4, you could get like I'm pretty sure you get Adobe 4.1 yada yada. But if Adobe 5 came out, you'd have to purchase the new Adobe 5.
Yeah, you're
But-
not getting the most recent suite.
Yeah, but like
There
it-
may be releases in the interim as they're like fixing bugs.
and you could
but
wait years to do it. Like if you wanted to wait 3 years and then buy the newest version, because
That's kind of what like Ableton did for a while. They were on that model of either subscribe or you can purchase one, and that's all you get.
Yeah.
And if you want the next version next year, you
Mhm.
pay another $700,000, whatever you got to pay
well,
to get the new one. Sometimes they'll do it where you get a discounted rate,
Mhm.
you know, because you already purchased the first one, so now you get a discounted second version, and
Yeah.
so on and so forth. But yeah, I mean, like I'm not a fan of the subscription model. You like things like Pro Tools, right? That was almost never a subscription thing, but now it is because, well, it's really hard to access if you don't have thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So in some way, shape, or form, it is benefiting the small guy.
oh, for sure.
which is fair.
Is it a higher cost in the long run if you continue to use it? Absolutely.
But you're also accepting that cost.
But
Like,
you're accepting that cost because it's costing you $15 a month instead of $3,000 right now,
Which is fair,
just to get access
like,
to it.
If, for instance, like for Adobe, like if you, like I said, if you bought like everything back before subscriptions,
Also, like why people lease cars.
which is
They
fair.
can't afford the car today.
Or they want to have the next new one in a year.
Or they want to have they're always wanting new ones. So
I mean, I guess it's more of just like people's fault for being stupid in that sense, but
I don't think it's a stupidity thing. I think it's just
everything is a choice.
Yes.
I don't understand why someone would lease a car, but that's besides the point.
Because they like the new model.
They don't need,
or maybe they're always moving and they just like, maybe they're, they're not permanently in a spot in the world.
I mean, I guess like, I don't know, my boss does it. He fucking writes off his taxes, but
there's also plenty of people who want to have a new car every year. And there's also very stringent guidelines on your lease saying you can only drive 10,000 miles a year. Exactly. So for certain people, they only drive that much and they want to have a nice new car every year and always have that nice new model. Like, and the money's not an issue. So why would you?
I guess, but I kind of look at it like it's like the equivalent of like fucking rent a center where you go to rent a couch.
But also you lease a car. They're doing all the maintenance because they're going to want to sell that car once it's done.
Yeah, and you're also not paying the depreciation of it. So, like, as that car depreciates over time, it's not stuck in your name.
I mean, which is fair, but I still look at it like
next year you get the new one, and the next year you get the new one, and the next year you get the new one. Now, you could absolutely go out and buy a full stock, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to continue to.
Leasing's also a different story because you can also buy the car at the end of your lease.
Yes, you can.
When has that ever been that makes no sense?
That's always been a thing.
What do you mean? Like they're just like, here's the full price of the car after paying for the whole thing?
They'll give you an offer to buy out the car.
After spending all that money on the car.
But that's the whole point is you're not spending that much money comparatively if you were to buy the car outright.
Yeah, you're leasing an $80,000 Mercedes sticker price and it's going to cost you 12 G's that year.
Yeah.
And then at the end of those 12 G, at the end of those that year,
you can either move on and not pay for that Mercedes.
Or they go,
anymore.
they pay us $80,000.
No, it's not going to be the same price.
No.
They're gonna give you an offer. It's not going to be the sticker price. It depends on the vehicle too and how many miles you drove it. Like there's a lot of factors.
I've just never in my entire life ever heard of them going, okay, cool, you lease this car. Do you just want to buy it?
Of course they will.
Because to me, like I've never heard that in my entire life.
That's the best thing that could ever happen to them.
Yeah.
They just made money off of you for a year.
Yes.
And they were going to get the car back, and then you're like, actually,
and
that's
fair. I also just find that in my mind just to be stupid. So that's the only thing I could say.
In terms of what?
Like I understand if it's like better for people who are like who can like take advantage of it.
Have you ever heard of like lease to own, like a house, like rent to own? Like people, you can, depending on who's renting you a house or leasing you a house, like they'll offer you a lease to own. Like if you stay there for so long, like they'll give you a buyout to buy the property.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and most of the time they'll factor in how much money you've already paid them, and it's not like, oh, this house is worth $500K. You've been here for 10 years. Like maybe I'll lease. You're in a lease to buy situation where you can buy it for $350 after those 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, but in those 10 years, why wouldn't it be way more than what you paid? Like than what they would have. Like I can't like basically what I'm getting at is that like how if we're talking about corporations and people fucking people over, how are these people not also making infinitely more money off of this?
Oh, they are.
Well, they don't have to produce the most ideal situation.
They don't have to produce
so at the end of the day,
disc.
it's not necessarily a good thing for the consumer. It's just a good thing for the company.
When is anything good for the consumer?
That's what I'm saying.
But now you're just like rationalizing capitalism.
Like I said, your issue is with the heart of the system. Right? You have a
and
problem with the system.
I know that. It's just
specifics,
like,
but just the system itself.
That's why like it just made no sense to me because you made leasing sound like it's like the most superior choice when in reality you're getting
for the business.
Well, and for
some individuals, it is the ideal. Yeah,
and that's fair. I don't mind like the maybe like
same
1
thing
or 2%.
With any subscription, right? It sometimes that is just the ideal.
Yes,
because you can't afford it.
Like I can understand, but like,
but say we were starting a media company and we needed the entire Adobe suite, and we can't pay the upfront fee that they would have charged us if they were going to give. If you could buy the whole suite today, I'm sure it would cost you between $5,000 and $10,000.
So if you were to buy,
we don't have the money to do that, but we can get the subscription for $64 a month, and we can get off the ground and our business is moving.
I guess and then later we can purchase maybe.
But I guess that's
if
fair.
It's still an option.
But at the same time, it's like Adobe.
Would we still have to pay full price? Probably.
But it's like Adobe like I was trying to say earlier, when it first was no subscription and it was just you could buy it all at one time, it was like maybe a little over $2,200, maybe like around like $2,400.
Mm-hmm.
Now it is $2,400, I think, roughly every 3 years.
Yeah,
which is fucking ridiculous.
But you gotta also think about all. But you're thinking as if like this product doesn't have thousands of people working on it. Like there's thousands of engineers, computer engineers, and
but marking it that's such like a
those people make a lot of money.
Yeah, I know, and they're going to continue to make more money if they keep fucking make like that. To me, that's weird. Where it's like yes, understandably, it's just a part of the system, but the fact that they're like, cool. So we can make the $2,400 and they could pay for the updates as they need to, or every 3 years they can just keep paying the same price as they would for this. I mean, granted, those 3 years, sure, that might be fantastic using it, but like after 3 years, I mean, like me, I get pissed using Adobe because I'm sitting there being like, okay, cool. Like when I was in school and I used it, it was like, oh, you want to buy Adobe? I think it was, fuck if I know, maybe like $200, $300, but you could still fucking just buy it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but that's your own damn fault for not buying it back then.
But no, it wouldn't have mattered because at the end of the day, I would still want the newer stuff. I'm not using today. I'm not using 2016, 18 stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally it. How do you think they're recouping their investment on creating the new shit?
But the problem I'm realizing, and not realizing, the problem I'm having is this. They are asking for way too much money, in my opinion. Granted, that's lining their pockets and it's fucking over the consumer. That is just what that is.
I think they make a lot of fucking money, don't get me wrong, but I think if someone came here and broke down to you like the actual cost of everything.
I mean, the cost also went up. You gotta think about like how many more people today are using Adobe than back in 2015.
Actually, they're losing a lot of customers.
And all their shit's on the cloud and they have to pay for that server space and it like all of that
and
has
all the
cost.
support, all the the phone support. I know they're going into some weird direction because I know you've dealt with their support, but they have to pay
their overhead
for those services
so much more.
Yeah,
than you
but I also don't think that the growth at which they're like, I don't think they're growing at a rate where it requires this much money from all the subscriptions. That's what I'm finding.
That's why I'm like, it might just be pure greed. But regardless, that's the subscription-based model.
No, I know.
And that is what we live in. And it's like either you don't, when you say you don't support it, the best way to not support something is by not giving them your money.
No, I know. Unfortunately.
So if you do not support this behavior, don't buy their product.
I mean, it unfortunately comes down to is like, do you want to continue using it?
Well, yeah, unfortunately, I don't really have that much of an option.
But you do.
I mean, yeah, I could go with fucking whatever stuff. I'm not going to buy it.
Go get DaVinci Resolve. It's free unless you want upgraded.
Oh no, it's
things.
not. It's not free.
And it is.
It is free to the most bare minimum shit.
But now you have an issue with it.
But it's free though.
What's up?
It is free.
Yeah, I know.
And it is the bare minimum, but it's free.
Yeah, but that's
and you can purchase the license. And have a full and never pay for it again.
100%. No, I'm not saying like
right?
I'm not complaining. Going like, oh hey guys, I'm going to storm the Capitol and tell them to change the pricing on Adobe. I think Adobe personally sucks ass in that degree. Am I going to change it? No, I'm super comfortable with it. And it's the fact that it's just, granted, every time they make an update, it shits the fucking bed. And I don't know what fucking chimpanzees they have working there, but they all make dumb fucking decisions. But at least the support is there. You can go on their forums. There are people going, hey, Adobe sucks cock. This is how you fix their newest update. So I'll give them that. There is a lot of stuff there. I think
part of the issue though is like, the reason why it probably made a lot, like, yeah, they're making a lot of money off this subscription model, but also they have to have continuous money coming in. Like, they can't drop the newest one and be like, okay, we're good. Like, they still need more money to make the next one, and then the next one, and then make updates every week.
But why am I?
So, just so you can see this. In 2012, Adobe had 11,000 employees. Today, they have 31,000.
Yeah,
so they have 3x their amount of employees, which means they had to 3x their expenses, their cost, just the people cost, just paying people's salary cost, right? Maybe not a full 3x, but like you got to think about that. They've upped it to 30. What was that? 36, 31,000.
Which is fair, but I feel like there's also a lot of just a gray area in general on where, like, in my mind, I'd love to see the breakdown of Adobe in their pricing and how much they make compared to how much they put into it. I mean, granted,
there is definitely a level of greed.
You can look up how much they made.
They're a public company. Just look it up. They disclose all of it.
What do you want to see?
I guess how much they made last year. I don't know.
How much money did Adobe net? Or
I mean, we can do 2012. A net income of 222.3 million.
Yeah.
And a total revenue of 4.4 billion in 2012.
What's 222 million? What percentage, like what is their profit margin then? Because it 4.4 billion only came out.
Yeah, to 222 million. I mean, that's not a lot.
No, look up their newest.
I guess it'd be 2025. Under a record of 23.7 billion. Net income was 7.13 billion.
Yeah, in 2012 they were making 19% profit. Now they're making well, if it was 23 in revenue,
damn near 30%.
Yeah. So they're up 10% since 2012.
And you can thank the CEO.
No, I just think that is in my mind.
But yeah, look, I completely understand where you're coming from.
But 30% isn't actually as much as I would have thought. I thought it would have been more.
Yeah. But they had to grow. They are also trying, as a business, like I said, it's not necessarily like I think this is okay. It's just the reality of it. As a business, they are they're trying to grow.
And as a publicly owned company, their only report to their stockholders is how much money they made.
Let me put to you like this. If you, instead of spending all the money you did on Adobe and you took that money every month and you invested it in Adobe, this would be a different conversation because now you're making money on Adobe instead of spending money on it, right? So it depends on what seat you're in. Because if you're making money off of it, this is great news. This is good. This is phenomenal. They're making more money. Their profit margins are increasing.
Yeah.
If you're the consumer, it's not as good, but that is capitalism, right? At some point, like Eric was saying the other day, at some point they decided, and he was saying it was Dodge versus Ford, that the consumer's interest is not the priority.
No, I know, 100%.
And that's all we've been raised in. We know that this is a fact. They don't care about the consumer.
Yeah.
It's all about profit margin,
100%.
Making more money, cost benefit. And in this case, it's just one of those things.
Yeah,
especially any publicly held company.
Yes.
No, 100%. I completely agree with you. I just, like I said, I just think that the whole idea of like the physically killing off physical games is just a sign of greed. And I just
you could say the same thing of like killing like engine-based cars, like
because
gas cars. Like as you go into the electric car, then you get into subscriptions, which you wouldn't even think should be a thing. Like, in cars,
but also at the same time,
but it is, and that's ridiculous. But that's also why I don't go buy a Tesla.
Well, yeah, but like the one thing that like
I don't want to pay for full power if I bought the car.
The one thing that they also, I bought
the car,
and they've been self-driving. You gotta that's a subscription.
It's a subscription.
Yeah,
but if you go get a Mustang, you get full power no matter what. But then you got to think like if you go, what is it? Is it at a Corvette where like you have to hit like 15,000 or something like that miles, and then you like unlock the rest of the fucking. I forgot what car it is, but there's like a certain car. It's one of those sports cars where after a certain amount of miles, it like the not the speedometer, the rev fucking thingy, it unlocks and like goes whoop, way further up, and your red line sits a lot further up in the RPM range. That's after you like break the car in. I mean, no,
I understand. I just think that like, yeah, I just think that it's just completely fucked.
Well, like let's say you bought a car for $5,000 in the 80s. I mean, if you sell it for $5,000 today, it's not the same 5,000, And
it's also like, I think the moral of the story is only get subscriptions that you actually need.
Yes.
It gives you the ability to use something for cheaper than having to buy it fully. Today. But if you only need it for this amount of time, you actually got a way better deal than. But I would
like the option of both though, because if I don't mind, if you
can buy it later.
But okay, but
What do you
say,
mean, Adobe?
but if Adobe,
Adobe,
well, maybe
Adobe,
not Adobe,
you
but
cannot literally
maybe not
buy
Adobe,
anything
but
on
like-
Adobe anymore.
but if you saw the price tag, if they gave you the option to buy Adobe, the full suite, I think you'd look at the price tag and you'd be like, "Holy fuck, I'm never doing that."
Yeah, because you'd see like whatever it is. Like maybe today it would be 3,000 or
No,
3,500.
it would be like 10 grand.
Maybe, and you see that and you're like, oh, that or 64 a month. I think I'm doing 64 a month.
I genuinely think that I would probably buy it once and then pay
Bill,
for the updates.
I know you well enough, you motherfucker. You're
But then you're saying pay for the updates. That's you're just doing the same exact thing, except you paid so much more money up front.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but I can also decide when I don't want those updates and yada yada. So, like for Adobe, like I said, like especially,
But you're like now saying like I don't want this update, but I want the one that comes after that. But you don't think that you should have to pay for the work that went in to make the update before that?
oh yeah, no, why would I? I don't want that update.
But
Just like how
they
Adobe,
they had to do that update to get to this update.
yeah, I know, and that sucks for them. But it's just like how old Adobe was. That's exactly how they worked. I don't see a problem with that. Besides the fact
yeah,
that
I
they
mean,
just wanna-
obviously something happened at Adobe. Maybe they picked up a new CEO around, like whenever that happened. But I have a hard time sitting here and thinking to myself like, the subscription based model is gonna go away.
like I'm not saying it
It's
will,
gonna
and I'm not,
stay,
and,
dude.
and I'm
Like-
not saying it doesn't have its benefits.
Because the people who make those decisions, man, they see it. They see how much more money they're getting. They're
Well,
not going to stop.
And
it.
so much about it too is they need the consistent cash flow. It's not like
yeah.
it's when you release a product and everyone buys it and there's no cash coming in after that. Like the initial wave came through. Okay, now you have all this cash, but like in 2 years, you don't still have that same pile of cash.
But now it just turns into like what I think that like companies used to be kind of innovative. Now is just like, okay, well, we just keep fucking making subscriptions and they keep paying.
Yeah.
We don't have to do fucking shit. And it's just
Yeah,
kinda what
I
that
mean, I
is.
agree with that to an
That is-
extent.
that is
Companies
like-
have become less innovative because it's just a necessity.
Like, what are you
in
gonna
most
do with your
people's
money
lives.
if like you make all this money and you're too retarded to turn it into something else?
But
Oh,
you also
okay.
got to think about it, like, dude, the technology is not progressing fast enough for these people to really be like through the early 2000s into the mid 2000s, like we lived through. I mean, shit was booming.
No, 100%.
Like all the major fucking dudes, CEOs and owners and creators of these companies were alive, number one, and held control of their companies. The origin, like the people who like started them. And as all that developed, everything got to develop with it. But now that we have slowed down in that development, everything is going to slow down too because there's nowhere else to go.
I just think that at the end of the day,
But they still need to make money.
I don't know what it's like to own a business. And the only thing I can say to that is just that just sucks for them.
Yeah,
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
But also I know that we've been fucking going for like an hour and a half.
we have. But all right,
Yes, sir. That was-
episode 50, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Episode 50.
Thank you very much, everybody. If you joined, thanks for staying through episode 50. It's been a good time.
Yes, sir. You guys have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.